Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Larry Ham. I'm chairman of the People's Organization for Progress. And we have joined together with all of our coalition partners today to call this press conference to express our opposition to the current budget reconciliation bill that is before the Congress. This budget reconciliation bill passed the Senate, barely passed the Senate by the skin of its teeth this weekend. It literally was a 50-50 vote. That's how much opposition, even in the Senate, there was to this bill. And that tie vote was only broken by the vice president, whose job it is to step in when there is a tie. We're here today to voice our opposition to this budget bill. It was called the big, beautiful bill, but in reality, it is a monstrosity. It is a grotesque and dangerous piece of legislation. This bill will hurt probably as much as 80% of the American population will be hurt by this bill. This bill, if passed by the House, will result in the largest single upward transfer of wealth in the history of the country. It is beautiful to the millionaires and billionaires because they're going to get wealthier.
That's right.
It is hurtful to the rest of us because it's going to cause pain and suffering and even death.
That's right.
This bill contains the biggest cut in Medicaid in the history of the country. Some 12 million, perhaps 12 to 16 million people will lose their health care if this bill is passed. This bill contains cuts to just about every major social program that helps people, and not just poor people. Working people, the struggling middle class, the vast majority of people in this country will be hurt by this bill. So we're here today to voice our opposition to this nightmare from Pennsylvania Avenue.
Right.
Because that's literally what it is. It is a nightmare. And people will find out if the bill is passed. So we're here today to call upon people all over New Jersey, all over the country. If you never called your congressperson, this is the time to call your congressperson. Because this bill can only pass the House if there's a majority that vote for it. The Republicans have a very slim, maybe 3 to 4 person majority. If 4 people who might have been yes decide to be no, then the bill won't pass today. And I don't know, well, I do know, there's this rush to have the bill passed today, and people say, well, is there a deadline? No, there's no deadline. They want to pass it as fast as they can because they know the longer there's a delay, the more opposition there's going to be to it. This is probably the most unpopular piece of legislation in our lifetime. And so that is why we call this emergency conference today. That is why we asked you to be here today. And that is why, first of all, we're calling on the entire congressional delegation to vote no on this bill. But more than that, we're calling on regular folks to call. If you've never called your congressperson, call them today. Call them and tell them to vote no on this budget bill, on this very dangerous piece of legislation that's filled with pain and suffering and hardship and death. So at this point, I'm going to stop. I'm going to call on our co-host for today, the president of the NAACP, Sister Deborah Smith Gregory. Give her a big hand.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We call this emergency press conference. Now, the press will get a hold to what we're doing and put it out there, but we can't wait for the press. We have to get the word out that this bill is dangerous to our citizens, and we have to take a stand. Our silence is our consent.
Right.
We need everyone to talk to someone, to call a congressperson. Let's not take it for granted that our congressperson will say no against the bill. We need to call to support our congresspeople. We need to call people that we know who are in Central Jersey, South Jersey, all around. I am so grateful that Larry called me yesterday morning and said, we need to have a press conference. Let's call the organizations that will be adversely impacted, that their constituents will be harmed in some way. And so we have labor here, 108. We have Newark Emergency Services for Families. We have United Corporation, Community Corporation. We have Ironbound Community Corporation, because these are the people who are doing 1199J as well as 108, right? Because these are the people who are doing the work in our communities, and the funding that they get from the federal government is not for them to put in their pockets. It is for them to do the work of helping our community. And so we're not rallying, we're talking. We're talking at this press conference and urging you to advocate for the no of this bill. The no. We got a slight chance, but we're going to take it. So I'm going to give it back to Larry, and we're going to call some of our partners.
Yes, I want to call next Brother Charles Hall from Local 108. Give him a big hand.
Like
Let me put this down. Don't get my hand. All right. We're going to win. In the labor movement and in church, we say, good morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning.
And I truly mean, as I look around at the faces, all of you are my brothers and sisters, because you work in the community. You care for the poor. You feed the poor. These are, for me, this is probably one of the most important moments in my life and for my organization and for the organization I belong to. This is an attack on working people,
That's right.
but more importantly, it's an attack for me on poor people.
That's right.
They're going after our social programs.
That's it.
Now, I don't know about you, but me, and I'll share this with you, sometime on Saturday mornings, I take a drive around our urban cities. And you should try it, I guess around 8 in the morning. And you'll see lines of people, whether it's in Union City, whether it's in Newark, Patterson, Trenton, you'll see lines of people. They're there to get food.
That's right.
Because number one, people are hurting the country, but people are especially hurting right here. This is our home. This is New Jersey, and we're hurting. They have a bill to cut SNAP programs
That's right.
and other social programs, like Larry said. We're already hurting. Imagine the devastation that's going to be done to people. And all of you, again, my hat's off to you for being out here. But it's a wake-up call for everybody. I talk to people, everybody's angry. What are you doing? Everybody's mad. Everybody don't like this. Everybody don't like that. They're calling names and this and that. But what are you doing?
That's it. That's the question.
And I tell Larry every time we meet,
What you do?
whether it's for a press conference or whether it's for a march,
That's right.
we shouldn't be able to see the end of the lines.
That's it.
Not a lot. We're getting bigger as we go, but we should never see the end of the line. Right now, we're in trouble. We're talking about a close vote. Well, they're going to be looking to buy those votes.
That's
You
right.
don't know what that means. It's a game. They're going to say, in your state, this is what I can do for you.
That's right.
Right? We don't have the numbers. But what we have to make them scared of, is the fact that we're not just talking about our Democrats, we're looking at Republicans, and we're going to expose you, and we're going to tell your people that you cut Medicaid in the state. And most of your people in some of these states, Republican, or on Medicaid. My mother, I remember, she got rest of her soul, now she's gone, on Medicare. All she had two things, Medicare and her son. That's what she had. And it was hard to get by. That was 10 years ago, right? Today it's even harder. So what's killing me, I'm on 3 minutes ago. We doing all right? What's killing me, what's really, really killing me is that while they're robbing us and attacking us, they're enriching themselves. This man has become a billionaire over in the White House. Didn't happen by accident. He's no great stock picker. He was damn near bankrupt. What's going on? What's going on? Wake up. Wake up the person at home on the couch. College student, this is your moment. By the way, they're going after your college and your free speech. Corporations are saying, I no longer want diversity. Can you believe it? Do you know the buying power we have? Malcolm had it right. We should not buy from them if they don't respect us and they're against us. These are awful times. And that person, that man, and all of them as far as I'm concerned, they are out to destroy us. I'm gonna tell you one thing that disturbed me out of all the racist stuff that I've been hearing. Juneteenth. We finally got as a federal holiday. On Juneteenth, the President of the United States, on TV, if you didn't see it, he said, it's too many federal holidays, costing us too much money. We ought to get rid of them. He was speaking specifically to Juneteenth. That's racist. Moving black history, Spanish history, people of color history, Indians, we're moving them. They didn't exist. They don't have a story to tell. And I'm gonna end on this note. If you didn't know, while they're coming after us, they are gonna give tax breaks of $114 billion, as Larry indicated, to the rich. So they don't like us, people of color. They do like green. It's a wake-up call. Social media, newspaper, whatever you got. See, I got some of this stuff programmed in already, and I know we begin to do it. You got to get the word out. We need to move on, all right? And listen, I'm going to be out here with you. Next time, let's bring somebody with us, all right? So thank you. Power to the people.
Thank you, Charlie. Deborah will introduce our representative, Ironbound.
So we put the call out to organizations that serve the community. So we have several out here. I want to bring up Hazel Applewhite, who is the executive director of the Ironbound Community Corporation.
Good Good. Is it afternoon as yet? Good morning, my people. What do they say? Power to the people? Can I hear you? Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Because it is important that we understand throughout this journey that as a community, right, as people who live in the U.S., the power is within us. So it's important to engage in civic engagement, right? That's what we've been talking about. My name is Hazel Applewhite, CEO for Ironbound Community Corporation. Let me first say, thank you to the NAACP for inviting ICC to this space. Thank you for the People's Organization for Progress. Mr. Larry, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for our partners who are in this space with us, showing solidarity. It's important at this time that we stick together, that we speak together. That's right. Because at the end of the day, this is going to impact all of us. It's not impacting my constituents more than it's impacting yours. This is going to impact every single person that depends on social services. I'll start by saying that this bill it brings cuts to Social Security, Medicare, SNAP, veteran benefits. It's harmful. The services and the lifelines of millions of Americans. And when I say millions of Americans, I do want to emphasize on Black and brown folks, right? Because a lot of us depend on these benefits that are going to be cut. It's important that we call our Congress folks. It's important that we talk to our families and friends, because sometimes folks just ain't paying attention, And then sometimes these things are so complicated that you just don't understand it. So it's important, us as, leaders and as folks that understand or have some basic understanding, that we reach out to folks and say, hey, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on. It's important that you talk to your kids and have them to understand what's going on. So therefore, in their conversations with their friends, right, they can be talking about this, right? That's how we start civil engagement among our youths. It's also important that we get our youths involved. We get our parents involved. We start calling up friends and saying, hey, have you seen that bill that's cutting Medicare, housing? How are we going to live? How is this going to impact us on a day-to-day? And share that information with them, because we need people to come out. So when we need people to come out, what has happened in the past? We have gotten to the streets, gotten on the phones. Now we have social media, and share the importance of folks getting involved with this, calling folks. Even if you don't understand it, call and say, I'm concerned, right? And I have voted you in, and I need you to hear me, and I need you to hear what I'm saying, because I'm on Medicare. My mama is on Medicare or Medicaid, right? SNAPs is going to impact, listen, food insecurity is such an issue now. Right. The cost of living, if you want to break it down into finances that way, the cost of living, we have folks that cannot afford eggs, bread, and a simple thing as butter. We have folks that are coming to school, kids that are coming to school, that come to school to have lunch because the parents can't afford rental. Paying rent is so expensive now that folks are actually, we know what homelessness looks like in our community. This is going to increase it. If folks can't afford their day-to-day living, what's happening? We're going to get an impact on mental health. And we're already experiencing that, doing COVID and coming out of COVID, right? We're going to have folks that are coming to us that are not able to send their children to school. We know that we have this deportation and immigration fight going on. And then on top of it, now you're telling me you're taking away my food benefits. It's an insult to our community, and we need folks to get together, stand up, and speak to your Congress folks and folks who you elected in to help them understand that you do not need this bill to be passed. I'm going to end on this note. We've been fighting for a very, very long time, and our ancestors are probably rolling in their graves right now, right? Yeah. Because it's the same fight that they had that we are having now. And it's time that we show up. Remember, back in the days, our folks went to the streets marching, right? And it's exciting to know that we understand that kind of advocacy. It's not exciting to be in this moment, but it's exciting to know that we know how to show up, right? Because we've seen it happen in history. So let's continue to show up and voice our concerns to folks who we need to voice it to, such as our elected officials, senators, and Congress folks. And also remember, this is not only the time we need to stay engaged. I'm going to end now. When we have these primaries and folks don't come out and vote, it's important, and that's part of civic engagement, that you understand who you're putting into public office, right? And we encourage our folks, especially our Black and brown folks, to show up at the voting poll. I'll end on that note, and like they say, power to the people.
Power to the people. Thank you. Give a big hand. I'm so glad Ironbound is here today. Next, I want to call on Karen Zapansky from the New Jersey Poor People's Campaign. Give a big hand.
Yes.
Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning.
I'm happy to see all of you and unhappy to see you under these circumstances.
Right.
I just want to ask a basic question. How much is enough? When we look at these billionaires, how many yachts can you buy? How much food can you eat? How many houses can you own? And how many planets can you destroy that it's enough?
Yeah.
Every day in the United States, 800 people die of poverty-related causes. And this is now. This is now. If this bill goes through, how many deaths are enough for this administration to say enough is enough? This is not the country that we wanted to live in. Immigrants come here to seek a better life. People that are here are suffering and fighting and dying every single day. And they are the ones that built this country and live here and work here and care about this country. I ask just that everyone get on the phone, call your congressperson. And if your congressperson, my congressperson is LaMonica MacGyver. I love her to death. and I know that she's going to vote the right way. I still have called her office and thanked her, but also said to her, please keep up the fight. Please lead in this fight, because we need everybody to lead in this fight. But if you have the chance and the opportunity and the will, please also call the 3 Republican Congress people in this state. Tom Kean, Chris Smith, and Van Drew, because they need to be hearing from people all over the state. 36% of our population currently are one paycheck away from a disaster. 36%. That's poor people below the poverty line, and that's working people who are barely making it. 36%. How much higher does it have to be for them to listen to us? So I urge you today, get on the phones. Get on the phones with your family, with your friends. Have them call. There's lots and lots of organizations that are doing this. If you need an automatic thing, but just do it today, because our lives depend on it. Thank you. Power to the people.
Thank you. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Now I want to call on Amina Bey from Newark Emergency Services for Families. Give her a big hand.
it for the community to come in.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so appreciative to Larry Ham and Deborah Smith Gregory for allowing me to be here today. All elections have consequences, as Hazel mentioned before. And we are here now because so many people thought that what was going to happen wasn't going to affect them. They're not talking about me. They're not going to deport me. I don't need, the services that they're talking about. I'm not involved in DEI, so this doesn't affect me. But now they're coming for everyone. No one is safe. I'm the executive director of Newark Emergency Services for Families, 2 doors down. And any given day, you can see the lines wrapped around the corner for people who need food. And I'm not just talking about the unhoused residents that we serve every day. I'm talking about people who work every single day that have to choose between feeding their families and paying their rent. The donations and the food that we used to receive, now we receive 1/3 of that because of the cuts that have already happened before this bill even came to pass. Okay? If it wasn't for the coalition of the different community partners, if we weren't working together and sharing resources and helping each other, we'd all be dead. Period. It makes absolutely no sense for us to think that this is okay, that we can be silent in this moment, that we can be one-issue voters, that we don't need to knock on every door, call everyone that we know, and tell them that they need to speak out now. We're past the time of being quiet and being peaceful. We cannot continue to do this. We have people here that are literally on the verge of collapse. We're standing here downtown Newark, New Jersey, in the Central Ward. We have 19 senior buildings here just in the Central Ward. You know what happens to those residents once if this bill is passed? All of them depending on Medicare, all of them depending on food donations, depending on additional services through our organizations. What happens to them? This is an attack on Black and brown communities. This is an attack on the most vulnerable population. This is an attack on the most marginalized people in our community. And they made sure that they lulled so many people to sleep that they felt that it was okay to let this ride. And now we're here in a state of emergency. Brothers and sisters, we can't let this ride. Our lives are at stake. Our people's lives are at stake. This affects all of us. They came for our neighbors yesterday, they're coming for us today. So we have a responsibility not only to kill this bill, but to make sure moving forward that we work together. We don't have time for silos. We can't afford to be separate. We can't afford to act as if this doesn't affect us. We have to make sure that everyone knows that we are a collective, that we are a unit, that we stand together, that we stand united at all times, at all costs. So I know you have a lot of people to speak. I'm not going to hold you up. But I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows and understands that the work that is being done by all of these different communities, whether it's in advocacy, whether it's in food security, housing security, education, employment, it depends on what we do right now in this moment, how we survive. Because we need to be able to thrive tomorrow. And it's all in our hands. So I want to thank you. All power to the people.
Thank you, Amina. Give her a big hand. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Now I want to call on Ted Glick from Rockland, New Jersey, 350. Give him a big hand.
Thanks, Larry. It's 350 New Jersey, Rockland. That's the group. I'm glad to be here. I'm absolutely in solidarity with the struggles, the issues that people have been speaking about. What I'd like to add is what is in this bill, this terrible bill, in terms of the impact as far as the climate and our environment, and worldwide. We're talking worldwide ultimately. This bill, if passed, and we have to do everything we can today and as long as necessary to try to defeat it, this bill would cut tens of billions of dollars from tax credits and grants for wind energy, and solar energy. Clean energy sources that don't pollute the air, don't pollute the water, and they're also free. The sun's rays are free. The wind is free. So the other thing that's going to happen with the downing of wind and solar is electricity rates that are already going up for a lot of people all over the country. They're going to go up even more. So that's one of the effects. They're ending all support for rooftop solar in communities, for electric heat pumps and other energy-efficient home devices. As I said, it's going to raise electricity bills, no question about it, for ratepayers. A lot of people are really struggling with paying their bills right now when it comes to heat in the winter and air conditioning in the summer, if they have air conditioning. And the Center for Climate and Energy Solutions, their estimate is there's going to be 2.3 million jobs lost as a result of this bill. Over 2 million jobs lost as a result of this bill. And of course, there's going to be all the additional pollution coming from a shift away from renewables, which is absolutely what this bill is about on that front, to more coal, more oil, more methane gas, more pipelines and infrastructure. However, this is a worldwide problem. And worldwide, things are changing. As bad as things are with this government, with this administration in the United States, worldwide, there is a shift away from dirty energy to clean energy that is absolutely unstoppable. And it's actually unstoppable here in the United States, too. It's just going to be slowed down, and that's big. That's very important. Worldwide, the amount of investment in clean energy last year is about 60% of all the investment in energy goes for wind, solar, clean energy, 40% for fossil fuels. 5 years ago, it was opposite. So something is happening worldwide. Other countries are giving leadership in a way that we definitely aren't going to be giving it for a while. So we need to do everything we can on local levels, on state levels, to keep alive clean energy, to advance those projects, and to fight against the efforts to increase the pollution in our communities by things like the PVSC power plant, other new projects that are in the works. Again, all of us together, we can win some victories. There is a national movement. There were over 2,200 actions on June 14th all around the country. 5 million people or more took part. Our movement is strong at the grassroots and increasingly connected nationally. Let's keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ted. Give him a big hand. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Now everybody that wants to speak will get a chance to speak. Just be patient. Just hold on. And I ask the speakers to please try to stay within the 3-minute limit. But I'd like to invite Lauren from Garden State Equality to speak. Give her a big hand. Lauren.
Thank you. My name is Lauren Albrecht. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm Garden State Equality's Director of Advocacy and Organizing. Shame on Tom Keene. Shame on Jeff Van Drew. Jeff Van Drew's district, 40% of the residents are on Medicaid right now. 40% of the residents, just like Mike Johnson's district, 40% of the residents, of course they think this is the big, beautiful bill. It's going to kill us, and that's what they want. Yeah. That's what they want. They hate it. The first place they went was trans kids, right? The first shot that they took, trans kids, LGBTQ people's health care. That's the canary in the coal mine. Now we see what's next. Shame on every single complicit, silent vote, and shame on 3 members of New Jersey's delegation who will either say yes or will shut their mouths, will not speak up for the people that they represent. They will not speak up for the people that they represent. But I have so much hope seeing this group here. I have so much hope every time I hear Larry speak. You've been doing this for a very long time. It keeps you young, I think. You've been doing this for a very long time. I wish you didn't have to do this for a very long time. I wish our kids didn't have to take this up. I wish our next generation didn't have to learn the things that we have learned, the things that you have learned, the things that I have learned. I am among that 36% that is one paycheck away from disaster. All right? I am, and probably many other people here are too. They do not care. This is the point. The chaos, the misdirection, the daily onslaught and barrage, this is the point. And I know that the good people here in this crowd can't believe it for a second, but the cruelty is the point. The cruelty is the point. You don't believe that, and I don't like it, and I don't believe it when I hear it, because that's not the person that I am. This is not politics. This is not pandering. We are people. We don't believe that they have this hate and this malice in their heart, but they do. The cruelty is the point. But I have so much hope to see this group here, and that we keep coming out, we keep showing up, we keep doing it, we keep using the court system that we have that keeps telling the Trump administration, what you're doing is illegal. What you're doing is illegal. You're trying to do something that is actually illegal. We're going to stop you. And the longer we keep standing up, the louder we keep speaking with one voice, many different accents, many different languages, many different words used, one voice. Someday they're going to be not going to be able to ignore it. Someday, and I have hope for that. So I'm going to wrap up now. I'm not going to take the full 3 minutes. I just want to say I just am so grateful to be here with you, and thank you to the NAACP and to the People's Organization for Progress for keeping us in the loop. It's thankless. It's exhausting. I hate it when people say the Garden State Equality is like fearless and and tireless. We're tired, right? You're tired. We're terrified. We're tired. Don't say fearless. Hold space for that, but also we'll see you on the 17th, and every other day until then. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give him a big hand. Kill the bill. 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 Is Craig Ford here from 1199? Yeah. Give him a big hand. 1199.
All right. Good morning or afternoon, everybody. So we started off with this councilwoman sharing with us. It's about votes. It's about voting. Voting matters is very clear. And as we all chant, kill the bill. If we don't kill this bill, it's going to kill us. My name is Craig Ford. I'm the president of District 1199J, National Union of Hospital Healthcare Employees. We represent over 10,000 healthcare workers throughout the state of New Jersey. Let's talk about Medicaid, Medicare, although this bill kills so many other avenues. But with Medicaid, Medicare, in the state of New Jersey alone, there are over 60% of people that rely on Medicaid and Medicare. 60%. So that's over than half of our population for here in the state of New Jersey. If the Medicaid goes into effect, if this bill goes into effect, it's going to be devastating. It's going to kill so many lives. Let's start at the nursing homes. The nursing homes will shut down. I'm going to repeat that. If the nursing homes are going to get their fundings, the nursing homes will shut down. Hospitals. If the hospitals don't get their assistance from the Medicaid monies, our services will be slashed in half. Those emergencies that we have will no longer be able to attain. They will literally cut the services with our hospitals. Now let's talk about our children, the kid care program. We know that these young kids walk up every morning to go to school and their stomachs are already hungry. So you imagine them getting there and there's no food to give them any assistance or nourishing for them to grow. So this bill talks about the vulnerability of approaching and attacking the most people that are needing it the most. And it's scary when you think about how we're going to say we're going to attack Medicaid. When you attack Medicaid, you attack our seniors that are going to rely on us to assist them. And we don't have the capability because your seniors will have to leave the nursing homes. They will have to now go to their family homes if they have homes to go to. So our seniors are now being displaced on these streets. Then we talk about Medicaid. We talk about Medicaid where we got people that are disabled. And this bill requires for them to work, to put some hours in, 40 hours, 35 minimum. They are on disability, you all, for a reason. We must kill this bill. So although I'm here as a healthcare representative, and this bill will kill us all for every avenue, whether it be social, whether it be ethical, it's going to hurt and do a lot of damage. But I want our people in New Jersey wake up. Wake up. You must fight back. You must tell your congresspeople to make sure this bill does not pass. If it passes, it will kill millions countrywide, but it would definitely kill thousands here in New Jersey. And the only way we can stop it, as everyone says, we, like this coalition, must stick together. We must fight together. We must keep on getting these streets. We must go to Washington. We must visit our Congress. We must go to our state and local reps. Everybody has to hold hands and get out there and fight. Our young folks, this is going to be devastating to you all. This bill, as they call Kill Bill, that we're calling the Kill Bill, they call it the Beautiful Bill, is something that we cannot make sure it reach surface. So although they're giving us a timeline for July the 4th, I say we stop the bill today. I say we stop the bill today. I know we're going to stop the bill today because we're going to use these constituency groups that we have formed together in coalitions, and we're going to make our voices heard. We're tired of being tired. We're tired of being tired. And I will end on this note. Our governor made it very clear in the state of New Jersey, we do not have a surplus. So there is no safety net. I'm going to repeat that. There is no safety net if this Medicaid gets cut. It will affect everybody, especially those that are needing health care and our prescription costs. With that said, let's chant together, kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill.
Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Next, I want to bring up Craig Maynard from the United Community Corporation. Give him a big hand. Give him a big hand. UCC been around at least, what, 60 years?
61 this
61 years. Go ahead, brother.
So I know we got 3 minutes. I'm going to just make this really quick because there have been some really great conversations. I want to, one, thank you guys for inviting us down. Two, it's really great to see all of the faces here, but I'm going to say it, and I'm going to try to say it as loud as I can so that the buildings across the street and the people in the cars can hear us. It's not enough for us to stand here on the sidewalk. We have to make phone calls. We have to hold our politicians accountable and responsible to us. This bill is horrible, horrible. One of the speakers mentioned being a paycheck away from needing some of these services that are about to be cut. At UCC, we have 3 homeless shelters, and there was a conversation I had with one of our guests at the homeless shelter, and they explained that they ended up at the homeless shelter because they got sick, and because they were tight, the pay was so tight, they missed a day of work and couldn't make the rent for the month, and then that snowballed. So this person wasn't one check away. They were a runny nose away from being poor and in the shelter. Another fact that I want to share with you is that 35% of our guests at our shelter, we have 80 beds, 35% are working. So we're talking about working poor who need these safety nets that the government is pretty much cutting. No, wait, they're not cutting. Because if I take money from you and I put it in my pocket, it's not cutting. I stole money. I'm taking money off of your dinner table and your refrigerator and your kids' lunch boxes, and I'm giving it to the people in the high rises and don't need it. So we need to have this conversation, frankly, with all of our politicians, red or blue. But they need to know that it's not just on election day that you want to pay attention to us. It's on these events where you're trying to ignore the people in the street, the people in these homes, in this community. I'm not as eloquent a speaker as the others, but I want to make sure that I am heard. And United Community Corporation, as the gentleman helped me point out, 61 years we've been fighting poverty in this city, and every year there's a new challenge that's set not by us. We're trying to fix issues that are being thrown at us and dumped on us. So don't let them steal. It's not cut, it's stealing. They're taking money out of kids' mouths and putting it in the pockets of those who own Walmart. By the way, Walmart employees are going to be hit hard by this because of the Medicaid cuts. So give it up for socialism, right? All right, so thank you. That's all I have to say.
All right, give him a big hand. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. I see. Nancy, are y'all speaking today? I'm going to call you in a minute. Just hang on. Saeed is here. We definitely want to hear from Saeed. Who else? Charlene is here. So let's bring Charlene up from Faith in New Jersey. Is she coming back? She was here. She left. Give Charlene a big hand.
Kill the bill.
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 Hi, I'm Charlene Walker. I'm the Executive Director of Faith in New Jersey. I'm a daughter of this state. I'm lucky enough to be a faith leader that gets to lead faith communities in all 21 counties. And the truth of the matter is, we should probably call a spade, right? Can I do that?
Yeah.
This bill is nothing but white nationalism with a purpose to maim, murder, and kill anyone they feel is not worthy.
Amen.
Wow.
This bill's purpose is to harm everyone that I believe the divine has said is sacred and has a purpose on this earth. But they have decided that if you are too black, if you are too brown, if when you speak you have an accent, if you need a little more help to put your clothes on in the beginning of the day, if you need a little help to go to the grocery store, that you are not worthy. See, who this bill is actually going to impact are people like me. See, I was born in foster care. And do you know how many foster children across this state rely on everything that this bill is stripping away? There will be youth all over this state that will become unhoused, unfed, and harmed in so many ways. There are so many of our loved ones who have lost their lives due to gun violence. Do you know what helps to fund gun violence programs that actually work? Medicaid. Our health care system. Don't get it twisted and don't be confused. That this bill is about taking each and every one of us out. And they've never tried to actually disguise it. They just tried to put some big words. They just tried to hide it in some language and make you feel good by dividing us. And saying that this one's not worthy and I can pit you against you. But the truth of the matter is, we are all in this together. And they can't starve us. They can't take from us. They can't take care from us. And they sure as hell can't arrest all of us if we fight back. So we need this bill to not just be killed, but we also need a real transformation in this state, which looks like getting those that are wicked in office out. It looks like showing up at Congressman Kane's office that he is never in and dropping off body bags on his front lawn because he will be responsible for everybody that does not make it after this. It will be him. It will be Chris Smith. All people who have the nerve to walk around and call themselves people of faith. That have the nerve to walk around and pray on a Sunday morning, but then go home to go pass bills that are doing nothing but kill our people, beloved. So, yes, let's kill this bill, but also let's fight for the long haul because we need a transformation. Not just one bill, we need to uproot it all because they are coming for all of us, beloved. Kill the bill!
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 Thank you, Charlene. We're going to hear from Nancy. We're going to hear from Nathan Rowe, Nathan, and then Zaid Muhammad is going to send us off energized. Come on, Nancy, Zach. Come on. No? You're not speaking? No? Okay. Who was that? Make the Road. We have somebody from Make the Road? Give Make the Road a big hand. They making the road.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for being here. Thank you to the incredible speakers who have gone before me. I was feeling real bad this morning, and I have to say, you guys are incredible. This is what it's about. We are here fighting together. I'm going to be really brief. It's hot. It's lunchtime. But one thing I wanted to add, right? Folks before have talked about what this bill is going to cut, what they're going to steal from us, right? But who is it going to? I've heard a bunch of folks talk about it's going to the wealthy, right? It's going to the corporations. It's going to the billionaires. You know what else this money is going to? ICE. It's going to immigration enforcement to lock up our brothers and sisters. They are right now building cages to lock people up, to take away people's citizenship, people who already have citizenship. I heard someone earlier say, oh, you know, I thought this wasn't about me. I'm a citizen. It's not going to affect me. I came here the right way. It's not going to affect me. Every single speaker today has said this affects us all. Every single one of us. Whether you get Medicaid, whether you don't, we all need food. We all need health care. This is going to hurt each and every one of us for the benefit of the billionaires and ICE, the Gestapo, who are out there arresting our brothers and sisters and picking them up off the streets and putting them in cages. So we all need to come together and stop this bill. It doesn't benefit anyone except the rich people and ICE. Thank you so much.
Give her a big hand. I just want to underscore her point. They're going to increase the appropriation for ICE, mass deportation, and incarceration. This bill will increase it from 2.2 billion to 45 billion. 20 times percent increase. And if you think that, and that will make ICE the largest law enforcement institution in the country. And if you think they're doing this just for immigrants or just for the undocumented, you're dreaming. This is going to be a federal police force to crush any dissent against the Trump regime. Don't even call it an administration. It is a regime as much as Pinochet had a regime, as much as any third world country had a regime. This is about crushing democracy. And the sooner we all get together, the better. And on that point, I'm going to bring up Eric from For the Many. Come on, Eric.
All right, we need a budget that reflects the many, not the billionaires. I've been saying this for a while, that this is a shared fight for justice. Brother Larry has been saying it a lot longer. But an injustice against one is an injustice against all of us. And this bill doubles down on the failed policies. We tried this trickle down. It didn't work. The rich got wealthier. The corporations, their profits went sky high through the roof. When you give wealthy and corporations money, it doesn't come back and fix our communities. They use that money. They hide it in stocks, bonds. They offshore their profits. They hurt the workers, and their profits go even higher. But the corporations, they're going to get a bigger windfall in this bill. It doubles down on these failed policies. Corporate landlords, they're using behind-the-scenes meetings. They're using AI and computers to figure out how much money can they milk out of our communities, and how can they double down on discriminatory housing practices. The environmental, climate energy, big oil, big energy, they profited. People are dying in the streets. We have to pay to clean up the floods. People are dying in the streets, and these oil companies, they lied, they cheated, and they're profiting. The detention centers, right down the hall, they are blocking people up, and they're making money hand over fist. It's an injustice against one, it's injustice against all. The three Republicans in New Jersey, they could stand together and vote Jersey values. They had a chance. This has been before the House already. They failed. They bowed down to orders from the White House. They bowed down to their billionaire and millionaire corporate donors. They don't work for us. They got a chance to redeem themselves. Call them. But they did. They made promises to not cut Medicaid. They made promises to protect clean energy. They made promises. And they doubled back on them all. So call your legislators today. I'm proud to be with LaMonica McIver. I'm in her district. She's been doing everything that she can. She's been speaking out, and they want to lock her up. So we were out there last week. She's got our back. We've got hers. But everyone, call your House of Representatives today. We got to stop the bill.
That's right. Thank you. Give them a hand. We got to hear from the youth. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Nathan, come on up and give us some word from your generation. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Power to the people. Power to the people.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to pull up some information because I'm here representing the young people in this city, in this state, and in this nation, especially the young people that are in college and universities all over the nation, because this bill is cutting funding to our federal programmings that allows low-income students to get their education. And we know that that's not out of character for this administration. It's not out of character for MAGA Republicans at all to slash education and make sure that we can't learn the things that they know will teach us that what they're doing is wrong. Because they know that once we get in a classroom and read the Constitution for ourselves, once we get in a classroom and look at sociology ourselves, look at wealth inequality ourselves, look at the history of racism in this country for ourselves, we will see that everything they are doing is wrong. And so, specifically, there are going to be changes to Pell Grants to where it will be harder to qualify for Pell Grants. I stand here as a student that has a full Pell Grant and is going to college because of that federal aid. And because of that federal aid, all of the other scholarships, not all of the other scholarships, some of the other scholarships that I have are need-based scholarships that I'm only getting because of the information from the FAFSA, that I'm only getting because of the Pell Grant. And so the issue here is that in the bill, they're changing the requirements to be a full-time student from 12 credits to 15 credits per semester, or 30 credits per year from 24 credits per year. And we know that that's going to affect the millions of students, both young like me or grown people that have families, people that are trying to get their education, that have to work part-time jobs outside of school, that have to take care of their families, take care of their children, or people that want to be on the streets like this and speak out against these injustices. We won't have the time. Why? Because we'll have to be full-time at 15 credits, right? And it's not an issue of not wanting to be in school or not wanting that extra education. It is just an issue of practicality. There's a reason that it was at 12 credits, because we know that those students that need that full Pell Grant are usually students who are going to need to have a part-time job, who are going to need to work, who are going to need that extra money to survive. Over half of the nearly 7 million Pell recipients would no longer qualify for full awards, and they would receive smaller grants. The CBO estimates around 4.4 million out of that 7 million would see awards drop. 2.5 million would still be full-time, but around 10% of those could lose eligibility in their entirety, right? There's an added effect to those who are in community colleges, because those in community colleges are usually working directly in the careers that they're studying. So those are people who have to be in the workforce. In addition, student loan reforms are coming from this bill as well, where they're capping student loans at $50,000 lifetime for undergrad and capping them at $150,000 for graduate programs, and eliminating all of the programs that stop interest rates while you're in school and during your grace period. So they're directly affecting young people. They're directly affecting people that are trying to get their education, that are trying to build wealth for themselves, that are trying to give themselves a foundation. The easiest way to kill us is to kill our foundation, right? It is already, if you read this bill, which I did last night, it was a very long bill, but I read it. If you read this bill, you can really see that they're trying to set us up for failure. They're trying to set us up for failure and set themselves up for success. This bill is the worst bill in United States history. That's not even a political statement. If you look at those numbers, the majority of America will feel it. The majority of America will feel it, and our young people especially will be the first generation in American history to have it worse than their parents had economically. The next 10 years are a very dark, dark, dark place if this bill gets passed. And the last thing I'll say is that this bill has also introduced the possibility of the government not being able to make any laws about AI for 10 years. And if nobody is scared of that, I think we're all asleep.
Wow.
Right? We're already seeing how scary AI is now. Imagine even a year in the future with deepfake videos and fake news outlets and things of that nature. Imagine the damage it will do to education, to our educators, and to our students when AI is not able to be regulated at all. This is all about making money. This is all about killing our people, and especially killing our young people who are trying to build a foundation for themselves. So we need to do what? We need to kill the bill.
Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. We're almost there. Everybody come in a little bit. Ryan, were you going to say something for HPAE? Yes. So we heard from Local 108. We heard from 1199. Let's hear from HPAE.
Morning. I'm Ryan Novoselsky. I'm co-president of Health Professionals and Allied Employees, Local 5094. We represent professionals at Rowan University, Rutgers University, and University Hospital here in Newark. Many of you probably know University Hospital gets a huge amount of its reimbursement from Medicare and Medicaid. At one point I heard it was 75%. It might be even higher than that given how things have been going in the country. This is going to be devastating to University Hospital. This is going to affect community services here. Beyond that, the federal funding cuts to research, the nonsense that they're being putting through, the anti-DEI that's causing people to have to remove things like gene diversity and things like that from their research projects. This is all going to have a huge impact on public education, the only public hospital in the state, and it's really an attack on everybody, and I hope we're going to all figure that out before it's too late. So just want to thank you for being here. We're all going to need to bring more people out to the next one, and we're going to need to fight like hell if we're going to stop this. So thank you.
Kill the bill. We're going to hear from Brother Zaid, and then Deborah and I will close this out. Before, oh, you want to speak before? Okay. All right. Go ahead, Deborah.
I just want to say this. So Larry and Pop come outside of, we are standing in front of the federal building. This is intentional. And at this building, people come from all over to pledge their citizenship to the United States government. You'll see behind us, there might have been a small class, so there's a few people who have their small American flags, and they are happy to become a citizen. They're happy. But we know that our society, our democracy, our country is on the downswing. We know this. And so what I would ask everyone to do, yes, call your congressman and anyone else's, but we have to become our own newsmakers too. So Ingrid Hill has this press conference live on her page. Newark NAACP has this press conference live on our page. We ask you to go to our pages, share. We have to tell our own story. We can't wait for the mainstream. We have to tell our story, and we have to reach out to as many people as possible. And yes, there may be a few people physically here in person, but the people online are watching us. So we get to push the word out like that. Everyone who spoke, we're asking you, pull your clip and put it on your page so that we get this word out. We have to do this. You know, we have to start thinking more progressive in how we get our news out. And so no Channel 7 isn't here, no Channel 4 isn't here, no Channel 12 with their looping. But we are here, and we will tell our own story, and we will push people to do what they need to do. The people who are walking back and forth across the street, up and down the street, across the street, they hear us. They're trying to act like they don't hear us, but they do hear us. So we become our news makers. Power to the people.
Well said, Deborah. Now we're going to have Brother Zaid Muhammad to give us a strong finish. I didn't think he was going to be here, but he made it in. Give him a big hand. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. Now, with a hype like that, I hope I can live up to the task. I didn't ask for that. All power to the people, everybody. Kill a bill. Kill a bill. Kill a bill. Kill a bill. Shut him down. Shut him down. Shut him down. Kill a bill. Just a few remarks. I wanted to pick up on what this young man said. And where's my little brother from UCC?
Oh, he
left?
I think he left.
Yeah, but you heard he ended on socialism, right? UCC, I'm not going to argue with. I love some of that, right? Said, I want to apologize to you and to your generation and the generation just before you. Because those of us who are older never thought until recently that we would be moving backwards so hard, so cold, and having the gains of the Black Liberation Movement literally swiped in front of our eyes, moving things backwards. Young folks are facing hardcore anxiety over their future because of their knowing that many of them will not have the opportunity to level up through education the way we level up in education in a country like the United States. So to my grandsons and granddaughters, my sons and daughters from those generations who did not anticipate having to walk into one of the most darkest, ugliest, fascistic moments in this country's history. That's what you're walking into. I want to apologize to you for we're in that space. Now you might say, Zay, you always riling us up to go fight. That's right. I'm a peacemaker who fights for peace. I'm a peacemaker who fights for peace. Chairman Fred said, peace to you if you're willing to fight for it. I'm amongst those who are willing to fight for it. We just lost a young child, 16 years old, in this town after the Trump Justice Department cut a whole swash of funding from those of us who make peace, proving that peacemaking that's community-based works. Newark has led the way nationally on that front. But that did not stop these racist, sexist, fascist monsters from doing what they did and doing what they're trying to do. And you know, tell young folks this also. We come in this backwards moment. It's also the centennial. Somebody named Malcolm X told you of the importance of building the united front, right? So 1199, right on, I'm glad you're here. NAACP, right on, I'm glad you're here. Garden State Equality, right on, I'm glad you're here. Make the Road, New Jersey, right on, I'm glad you're here. ICC, right on, I'm glad you're here. All the labor that's in, labor's deep in this. My daughter, Charlene Walker from Faith in New Jersey, glad you're here. United Front. Yeah. United Front. Let's get ready for July 17th. And let's not be so concerned in future mass engagements of staying between the goddamn lines. John Lewis got in good trouble, had his skull cracked, approaching the what's the name of the goddamn bridge named after that racist? The Edward Pettiston got his skull cracked for your and my freedom. He wasn't no better. Martin Luther King said, obey no unjust laws. If they coming with no unjust laws, then we disobey them and their authority and their unjust laws. That's how we got it. You want to kill some bills? You want to stop the hand of reaction? You want to put fascism on us behind? That's how we're going to have to do it.
Yes, sir.
Today is the anniversary, centennial anniversary. Patrice Lumumba and Medgar Evers do not think that those who engage in ethnic cleansing and colonialism abroad are not willing to do that here. That's what ICE is all about. That's what the attack on the 14th Amendment is all about. Black folks, may your black behinds remember that the 14th Amendment was about us. About us. And they're laying to die, not just to deport folks who ain't from here, but anybody who disagrees with their line and agenda and authority, they will attack you now on your birthright. Have you heard of W.E.B. Du Bois? Do you know what they did to him when he was 83 years old? Put our founding father of black liberation and revolutionary scholarship in handcuffs, charging him with being a foreign agent, which is something that will allow them to take your birthright citizenship from you. So we need to really understand that this is the moment that we're in. You know, back in the 60s and the 70s and in the 80s when him and I got going, we didn't have social media. We didn't have Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, tick. We didn't have none of that shit. But can you imagine when more of us who are serious about changing the world can and should be doing with that? Deborah, you're 100% right. 100% right. But we got to get those of us who are just more interested in likes to be interested in freedom, justice, and equality.
Right. Yes, sir.
And shake this whole goddamn thing up, down to the ground.
Right.
Fred said, we gonna fight fire with water. We gonna fight racism with solidarity. And on that young man's note from UCC, we gonna fight capitalism. How you doing with capitalism, y'all? We gonna fight capitalism with socialism. You already hurting what you got to lose. Brother and sister, united front matters.
Yeah.
United strategies matter. Mass action matters. Shutting down the streets anytime, any way you can matters. That's how we gonna do this. Back their asses up, right? Speak for those who cannot speak for themselves, right? There are communities that are running ICE out of their community. People are surrounding ICE in their community sometimes. Get the hell out of here. You're not willing to identify yourself. You remember when we was watching TV, the good guys didn't wear masks, the bad guys did.
How about that?
Maybe it's the bad guys that are wearing the mask for real. That we need to pull the goddamn mask off their goddamn face and back their asses up. Bill United Front. X's and Malcolm is the answer. Shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them down.
Shut them down.
Shut them down.
Shut them down.
Shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them down. Kill the goddamn bill by any means necessary.
Yeah.
All right, give a hand. Give a big hand. Charlie Hall want to say another word before we go. Zaid gave him the spirit. Now he can't.
Just real quick, and this is an important point to me. I talked about greed and I talked about greed, but the attack that's going on in this bill, sure it's coming at us, people of color, but poor people of all colors. It goes from all racial lines, poor people. All right, this is going to hurt all of us, particularly the poor people. All right, they care about greed. That's where they are. Keep in mind, this fight is not just us brown people, it's everybody. They're coming after you. You're poor, you're on the table. So remember that.
Brothers and sisters, give them a hand. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I think we had a strong showing of organizational unity today. Look at all the organizations that spoke today that were represented. I especially want to give a big hand to our co-host, Deborah Smith-Gregory, president of the NAACP. Give her a big hand. I think she is the most progressive NAACP president in Newark that I have known since I've been here. And I've been here for 70 years. So she's pretty progressive. I want to announce that in 2 weeks, we'll observe the anniversary of the 1967 Newark Rebellion. We're going to do that on July 12th at the Rebellion Monument, which is at the intersection of Springfield Avenue and Irvin Turner Boulevard in Newark. That is Saturday, July 12th. I think it's the first time it's been on a Saturday. It's Saturday, July 12th, 12 noon at the Rebellion Memorial. And for your GPS, it's 250 Springfield Avenue. So we'd like everybody to come out for our annual observance of the 1967 Newark Rebellion. And then 5 days after that will be the anniversary of the passing of John Lewis, and there are going to be national demonstrations all across the country. In fact, they're calling them the Good Trouble demonstrations all across the country. Many of them are going to involve civil disobedience all across the country. So on July 17th at 4 o'clock, we're going to meet here at the Federal Building. We might engage in some civil disobedience. I don't know. But we might. You never know. And if we were, would I stand here and tell you? Would it be civil disobedience if I announced it in advance? But we're going to be here at 4 o'clock on the 17th of July. We want everybody to come out with us. We're going to march from here to the King Monument up at 495 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard at the Martin Luther King Jr. Complex.
What time is
up
that?
there.
What time is that?
Oh, it's 12 noon, Saturday, July 12th. Now, want everybody else to know, we want you to come and meet with us on Monday, this coming Monday, which I believe is the 7th. We're going to be meeting at Bethany Baptist Church, 275 West Market Street, on Monday, July 7th, 6 o'clock p.m., Bethany Baptist Church, 275 West Market Street. Please come. We are going to be planning the event, the march for July 17th, and any other actions that are going to take place on that day. Let me just finish up by saying what an education I had here today. I learned so much from all of the people that spoke. Some people spoke here with us for the first time. Everybody had something valuable to say. Everybody contributed. One of the things that I do want to mention, I had wanted Tova to talk about this, but Tova had to leave. We didn't say much about the impact of this budget bill on international policy. And it is going to have just as much an impact. It's going to be as much oppression abroad as it is at home. As you know, the Trump administration has gutted and all but ended USAID. They came out with a report just yesterday that says as many as 14 million people will starve to death because of the billions of dollars in cuts in U.S. aid for food programs abroad. You know what this is called, brothers and sisters? This whole bill, both its domestic and its international component, this is called democide. Say it, democide. Democide. Democide is when the policies of a government lead to mass death, either by active participation of the government or by lack of action. It doesn't, just because they don't take action don't mean they don't do it. They can do it by not taking action, or they can do it by taking action. The end result is that the policies of a government can in fact lead to mass death and suffering, and there's a word for that, and that word is called democide. So the cuts to USAID, they are increasing the military budget by $150 billion, which will bring the United States military budget to $1 trillion. We've never had a defense budget of $1 trillion. So whenever they say they don't have money for this or they don't have money for that, they're lying. They're absolutely lying. It's not that they don't have money for it, they don't want to do it. They would rather spend the money on the military, and that's a circular dynamic, because why? Because the money goes to military, industrial complex, military industries here in the United States. Like when we give the money to NATO, or when we give the money to Israel, the proviso in that bill, in those appropriations, is that they have to buy from United States military. They have to buy their armaments from U.S. armaments corporations. So it's a circular kind of dynamic. So, and we also understand that the funding in this bill will go to Israel to continue the genocide against the Palestinian people. Brothers and sisters, we cannot ignore that. We cannot not talk about that. We are literally, imagine if you were in world, like the criticism we always have in World War II is, why did people stand by and let that happen? Right? When they talk about the Holocaust, right? Well, right now, we are watching in real time the genocide, the extermination of a people. And many of us are standing by letting it happen. It's a moral abomination. It is a moral abomination what is going on. So let us understand that this abominable bill is going to cause suffering and harm and hardship and death at home and abroad. And that we not only have to kill the bill, but we got to move out of the way the people that proposed the bill. Yeah. Because if we kill this bill, that same crowd's gonna come up with another bill. If we stop this one, they're gonna come. We got to get rid of the Trump regime. We got to get them out of the way. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that talk, but this to me is the imperative. So thank you everybody for coming out today. This was a great show. And I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible on Monday, or on Saturday the 12th, or on Saturday, it's Thursday? Thursday, July 17th. Kill the bill! Kill the bill! Kill the bill! Kill the bill! No justice! No justice! If there ain't gonna be no justice, there it is.
Revolution will not be